Greetings and salutations, fellow viewers. Today we paint Chibi Cthulhu from Reaper Miniatures. First, I want to apologize for not being able to post a video for several weeks. I had a strange turn of events where I actually had to attend a family funeral, and with everything going on, it didn't exactly allow me enough time to do what needed to be done. But of course, at the same time, I also had business things to attend to, overtime for one, but then I was also working on stuff coming soon to Kickstarter. If you want to find out what those things are, I will be posting a couple of things at the end of this video just to give you guys just a little bit of a sneak peek on what's to come. But without further ado, let's begin painting Chibi Cthulhu. Oh, he's just so cute! I just can't say it, it's just adorable! I mean, Chibi Cthulhu painting. It's so cute! Since I had used this miniature in the priming video, it had already been cleaned up and primed. Since I knew he was going to have a cartoonish feel, I just primed him all white. I wanted to start off by using a darker turquoise color as the base for the shadows. I soon realized that my donkey fingers were removing the paint. I remembered I did get more poster tack to attach the miniature to the stand grip. Now I have more control and am able to keep my oily mitts off the miniature. I then resumed applying my base coat. I know I am very close to my miniature with my airbrush, but I am using a very fine needle and very low pressure to apply even amounts of paint with the airbrush. So, I managed to lose or not record during this next process. I don't know what happened. Technology apparently hates me. Like, I don't know. Stupid. But, anyway. For the next part, I mostly just still use the airbrush to kind of, with the lighter tones, just to add in some of the highlights and stuff like that. So that's what happened before the next part you'll see, is just highlights with an airbrush. Things happened. Magic. I used the same techniques with the airbrush to apply the lighter tones of greens to really add in the source lighting. I then proceeded to go over the miniature and started adding the same color blends to the brighter greens to the high points of the miniature. I then moved on to the other parts of the miniature, giving the same treatment to his arms. He is quite buff for being such a little guy. We can't forget the highlights to the legs because leg day is important too. I blended in the top and side lighting to further build highlights and contrast between each of his body parts. I then blended his arms into the chest to make a nice transition and make the body come together more naturally. The wings got a nice highlight blend as well to keep the lighting source up above. Remember to use lighter layers to blend evenly.
Feathering in the colors and highlights by thinning the paints with water really helps create the smooth transitions of the miniature. Just by adding brighter tones will really start to make your miniature start to stand out and build that nice contrast.
Everything was going so well. I was loving the way everything was going in. Then I treated it like every other miniature I paint and completely ruined it. And now I had to fix it. Sweet.
I was really kicking myself for adding in a wash for this art style. It was too late for some of the areas because they had dried, and I knew cleanup was inevitable. Lots of adding in highlights and more shadows once again, so enjoy watching my mistakes being fixed. But this just goes to show you that when you make a mistake, it can always be fixed, so don't sweat it too much. The wash gave a much darker overtone than what I wanted and didn't match the cartoon aesthetic I wanted. Just being a creature of habit for traditional painting techniques simply didn't work for this miniature. The highlights are always the hardest to bring back. I tried to wash out most of the wash with water, but what I couldn't save I had to end up re-highlighting. Once I felt happy with most of my corrections, I then proceeded to other details around the base of the miniature, like painting his claws on his little feet. Bringing back the darker turquoise was a bit easier with the exception that I have to be a touch more conscientious of the highlights since they were significantly much brighter than from the initial base coating. Painting the base of the miniature, I started with a brighter brown to see how I would like it. I didn't really like it since it was more of an orange tone, so I applied a darker brown wash, and then it was too dark, so I met it in the middle with the same bright orange originally as a dry brush application, and that seemed to work.
For the most part, I think he turned out quite alright. It wasn't exactly what I was going for, and I had to do a little bit of rework. But from doing traditional styled miniatures, fairly realistic and stuff, to something kind of cartoony, anime-ish, I think he actually turned out quite alright, kind of like a middle tone ground. But for the most part, I'm happy to add him to my collection. But on top of this entirely fun painting experience, I promised you guys a little sneak peek at what we've been working on. So without further ado, I present to you what I've been killing myself over.
So for the first sneak peek to a Kickstarter coming soon is I am currently sculpting miniatures for Call of Cthulhu tabletop RPG games. And this is the first creature miniature, Byaki. But the other Kickstarter we are currently working on is the Falling Star of Demamity. This is a supplement for both Dungeons & Dragons as well as Call of Cthulhu. Each of the die has their own rule sets to be used with the games. We have also designed a matching set of dice to be used along with them as well as some of your other favorite games you may enjoy. So if you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and smash that thumbs up icon, and if you haven't already done so, feel free to subscribe. And of course, if you want to find out whenever we post a new video, go ahead and hit that bell icon over there. And then at the same time, if you want to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, any of the above, we do have the links down in the description below. And I do want to say that if you need any supplies for your painting hobbies or gaming enthusiasm, please support your local game store during these critical times. But of course, if you need anything specific, first ask to see if they can get it. If they cannot, I do have affiliate links that are associated to us at no additional cost to you if you do need those supplies. Also visit our online store as well for a Mininomicon t-shirt. I did finally get mine. All of them are dirty because I've been wearing them quite regularly. I got quite a few. But at the same time, we do have other apparel as well as gaming accessories and things like that. So feel free to check us out online. The links are down below in the description. I do want to make an announcement that we are probably going to be changing up the website just a little bit with the store, is because we're making room for projects, our individual projects, instead of selling individual gaming pieces. We'll probably still do collections or like collector's items that are very rare if we do have them, but get it while you can before we shift them somewhere else. So get it while it lasts. And I do want to say thank you guys so much for being so helpful with us, and a huge thank out to all our supporters out there. I can't thank you enough. It means the world to us. And as always, keep the madness going on the tabletop. I'll catch you guys next time.